All right, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kodash. I want to say and give double honors to the apostles and the bishop elders, a great millstone for teaching this word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching and prophesying in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, I'm my brother Gabar YAHAWADAH from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another lesson. And the title of this lesson is entitled "The Great Culling is Needed," right? And a great culling is coming to this place. You know, there was a great culling before on this earth, where the Lord used water to destroy the inhabitants of the earth, as well as the animals and the world that was then, you know, that pre-flood, right? And it's a phrase that Elder Yashawamba coined called flood behavior was happening in the earth. You know, that flood behavior, that destructive, violent behavior. So I was watching this movie called The Sicario, and it's a good movie, brothers should definitely watch it. But it was a point in the movie that really stuck out to me, pretty much the end of the movie, or about to be the end of the movie, where the protagonist kills the Mexican drug lord, right? And you know, all throughout that movie, that showed, you know, Esau is good for showing the violence that our own people commit against one another, but rarely talks about them and the violence that they perpetrate against us, and as well as the other, you know, the world, the nations, you know. And basically, the whole movie, The Sicario, was about what? About really the U.S. government getting involved in the so-called drug trade, where they were destroying, basically pinning these different cartels against one another, so that they could bring what they call order out of the chaos that was happening. Basically, having these drug cartels go to war with one another, and that's exactly what you see going on in the world today. These different groups, they're sponsored by clandestine government organizations from America, as well as other nations like the State of Israel and Mossad, CIA. They infiltrate these different groups that keep the shit going, and they just stir violence up. So when you go down there, you see how Jake treat each other down there. They're hanging each other from bridges, cutting heads off, mutilating bodies for nothing, just to make a statement. And that's just nothing but a bunch of violence, right? They push this violence in the earth, and that's because the man that rules this earth is a violent man. And then you see why great judgment is needed upon this earth, and that you see why the Lord's judgment and wrath is about to hit this place. Because first of all, the Lord didn't create this earth to be filled with violence and hatred and wickedness and evil and idolatry. This world wasn't created for that. This world was created to be a paradise. Our land, Israel, which is way greater than the land that's currently being called Israel today, was set up to be a place of righteousness, a seat of righteousness. But it's all going to shit now because of the inhabitants. So let me get this precept. It just came to my mind, so let me bring this out real quick. The earth is defiled, right? The earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Okay. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 5. Okay. Isaiah 24, verse 5. Yep. I'll start at I'll start at 1. It says judgment on earth, because that's what Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai is bringing. Great judgment on this earth. The way that these people see or think they know the one they ignorantly call God and Jesus ignorantly, they believe that the Most High is all love, and he's done with being angry and wrathful and what they call vengeful, right? They think that the Lord is done with that, because you ain't really seen a great mass judgment in this earth pretty much since the flood, since Jake got thrown, since we got kicked out of the land, right? You ain't seen that kind of judgment. But the great judgment that happened during the flood, you ain't seen that before, right? In this time. So the people think that the Lord is just quiet, not realizing that the Most High allowing sin to get to a certain point, and then he's going to end it by way of his son, Yahweh Shah. So this is Isaiah 24:1. Behold, the Lord Yahawah maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. Right now, the Lord is not going to utterly destroy the earth, but it's going to be cataclysmic events of biblical proportions happening, judgment happening, where a lot of these places that are filled with people are going to be emptied out, because most people either going to be dead in the war. Most of the men going to be dead in the war. Most of the people that remain in these cities and different places on the earth, they're going to die, right? Because of the great judgment that's going to happen. So it says, and it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, right? So it don't matter if you're a high level person, you're a low level person. If you're slated for judgment to be destroyed, you're out of here, and it's going to affect the vast majority of people. Are going to be affected by this, of different class systems, of different economic and social standings. Is going to happen. So again, and it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. The land shall be utterly empty and utterly spoiled, for Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi has spoken this word. So that's what's going to happen, especially here in America. This is exactly going to happen to America. It's going to be completely emptied out, with the slave, with the master, with the mistress and the maid, with the bankers, with the lenders, as with the borrowers, right? It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languishes and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish, right? And that's what you see going on in this world. Let's read that in the NLT. The earth mourns and dries up, and crops waste away and wither. Even the greatest people on earth waste away. And who are the greatest people on earth? The Israelites. Everything is wasting away here. But people don't understand why it's happening. Esau will tell you, oh, it's global, what is it? Climate change, global climate change. Just the reason why things, it's happening like this because wickedness have exceedingly polluted this place, right? Which I'll get that in a second, right? But that's because the leaders of this place, which is you super elite Edomites, right? Jake don't like, why you call them elites? Well, they are. They're aristocrats, and they're running the world. It's not that they're not elite because of their physiology or because their method of their mind. No, they're just the ones at the top, and they're the ones that push this destruction that's happening in the earth. And that's why Yahawah Bashem Shah is going to bring great judgment, and he's going to kill two birds with one stone. He's going to get 2/3 of the nation of Israel that are in that wicked mind and in that natural state of mind, that wicked, evil mindset. They're going to die right along with Esau and his whole system. In 1 hour, America is going to be emptied out. In 1 hour. It took hundreds of years for this place to be established, right? And hundreds of years more to keep it and maintain it. So the Lord is going to destroy this place in 1 hour. Therefore, it says, the earth is also, verse 5, the earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the law and changed the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenant. In the NLT, it says the earth suffers for the sins of its people. This is the reason why the earth is suffering, because of the sins that's going on, right? For they have twisted the Most High's instruction. And you see that. Jake did it first. Now these other nations who've taken on to these scriptures, mainly Esau, Edom, have done that. You got transformers running around the earth. You got moles and whatever you want to call them, people, confused people running around this earth, exalting themselves. You have women all out of order, children all out of order, men are weak and lame and out of order. This place is it's like an insane asylum. And the people that's running the insane asylum are not the orderlies, right? It's the fucking crazy people. You know what I'm saying? It says the earth suffers for the sins of its people, for they have twisted the Most High's instruction. And that's right. These so-called religious leaders They twisted the words of the Lord. These politicians, these people that lead the people, they twisted the word of the Lord, his instructions, everything the Lord told us not to do. People are telling you to do it and encouraging you to do it at a high level. Okay, so like MC, somebody said something. How many people we got? Shalom to you brothers on the comment board. I'll get to the comment board in a second. Oh, well, I'll start it. I'll use this. The brother, Salvation for the Elect, second address 8 and 50 in the GNT. The people of this world who have lived their lives in pride and arrogance will suffer many things in the last days. Absolutely. And one of those things that they're going to suffer is this great culling, right? Being put to death in this world, being wiped out off the earth. And the shit that you see that's going on in this earth, all the pride and wickedness that's going on in this earth, you see, if you have a spiritual eye and an ear to hear, you see why it's needed. You see, you like, yeah, the Lord need to destroy these people, bro. And what we're trying to do is trying to avoid their wrath by seeking the Lord early, by seeking YAHAWADAH early, and seeking after his face by following his commands and being cognizant of our own shortcomings in the sight of the Lord and repenting, right? And doing everything we can in this vessel to exalt the Lord so that when he comes, Lord willing, he'll have mercy upon us. Right? So again, going back into Isaiah 24 and 5 in the NLT, the earth suffers for the sins of its people, for they have twisted the Most High's instructions, violated his laws, and broken his everlasting covenant, man. And that started with Jake. You see, you look at the state that you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you Israelites are in. Look at what you're doing. You're not even trying to hear. You're not even trying to turn back from your ways. You just breaking the covenant. You don't even care. It's like you act like the Lord don't exist. And you actually got Israelites that say that. You crazy. And the reason why they believe that is because what Esau has taught them in his schools of so-called his schools of thought, his different doctrines, the different world philosophies. You get these so-called scientists, these false scientists, right? Telling you that the earth is some millions and millions of years old, telling you that the things are old were 2600,000 years ago, some crazy shit. And people swallow it up. They don't even mention the flood. You notice that? They never talk about the flood in which the Lord flooded the whole earth with water. They don't talk about that. They talk about an ice age. They tell you about a asteroid that supposedly hit somewhere on the earth. Nobody knows what this crater is. It's supposed to hit the earth and killed all the so-called dinosaurs off. Some weirdo shit, right? Not realizing that the earth was bigger, right? The earth was bigger in the ancient world, right? So things were bigger, people were bigger, animals were bigger, right? But because of the wickedness and evil, the earth is everything shrunk. It's not in its full force yet. It's not in its full force because of the wickedness and the transgressions that are happening within the earth from the Lord's people and from the heathens. You know what I'm saying? We was at camp yesterday and we were speaking about that. We were speaking about how like everything that was is today and will be tomorrow, right? So that includes people. But during the time of the flood, there was 3 classifications of men that was on this earth. It was the sons of God, it was the sons of men, and it was the sons of the wicked, right? These were the classifications of men that were upon the earth. And you had some of the sons of God that were trying to do the right thing. But the vast majority of the sons of God were doing their own thing. They were mingling with the heathen. They were committing idolatry. They were killing each other, destroying each other. Same shit that's happening today. And prior to the fire that's coming, who you have on this earth? 3 classifications of men. You got the sons of God, which are the Israelites. You got the sons of man, which are these other nations. And then you got the sons of the wicked, which are the Edomites. And right now, the sons of the wicked are ruling. But it's prophesied that the sons of the righteous, Jacob, is gonna rule right after this man. And this is what they're trying to stall. They're trying to stall with these different ideologies of New Age thinking, the so-called New World Order, which is really not a New World Order. It's just an extension, another extension of the wicked rulership of the Edomites. But they can't tell the average person that, because the average person ain't gonna understand and see that. So what do? They do it clandestinely. They do it sneakily. They do it deceitfully, right? They get these nations together and call it globalization. But who's ruling on top of this globalization? It's these Edomites who worship Satan at a high level, and Satan is just a worker for hire for the Most High and His Son, YAHAWADAH. He's just an angel on the left hand side, right? But because these Edomites, they can't. The only spirituality that they can access is wickedness. That's what they do, and they elevate that in this society. So these people had done what again? The earth suffers for the sins of its people. This is the reason why ain't nothing growing. The earth is not giving her full force, because who's ruling? First and foremost, who's ruling this earth? Right? For they have what? They twisted the Most High's instruction. They cast the Lord's word behind them. They don't care. So this is the reason why these people gotta go. This is the reason why the great culling is about to happen. All right, so right. So this is the word for culling. Culling is the process of separating organisms from a group based on desired or undesired characteristics. So you have a group of people that are desired in this earth in the eyes of YAHAWADAH. That's the elect, being separated from those that he does not desire, which is the wicked of our nation, as well as these heathen nations. Right? When the Lord brings that destruction, there's going to be people that saved, and that's the elect of Israel, as well as, guess what? The elect of the heathen nations, because they're going to be put the first fruits of slavery. They're going to be saved, not because of their desire, but because they are desired for slavery. They're going to be the first servants, and it's fitting. These same people that ruled the earth and ran it into the ground and destroyed it, they're going to be the ones that have to clean it up. And they're not going to have no servants to do their bidding. They're not going to be in the leadership role again. They're not going to be the managers of the earth again. They're going to be the workers. They're going to be the laborers. So again, the word culling is the process of separating organisms from a group based on desire and undesired. And guess what? When Yahawashi come back, that's exactly what he's going to do. This is the book of St. Matthew. I believe it's St. Matthew 24. Let's see. It might be 24. I'm going to go to, 24. I believe it's 24 and 35. Let's see. Yep. Salakia. This is just bear with me, brothers. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 20. I had it right. 25, verse 31. St. Matthew 25, verse 31. St. Matthew 25, verse 31. Right? It says, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. The sheep are the elect of Israel. That's the good one, the good seed. The goats are the heathen nations, and two-thirds of Israel. He shall set the sheep on the right hand but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on the right hand, come ye blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundations of the world, because the kingdom of heaven was established for the Israelites, first for the aristocrats of the Israelites, which is the elect of Israel, the first fruits from the foundation of the world. It was nothing that we did or didn't do. No, this is what the Lord already established, that the kingdom of heaven would be first established for the elect of Israel, right? And then 2/3 will come back through the elect as children. That's why all Israel is going to be righteous. All Israel is going to be saved. But not all Israel going to be saved the first go around, okay? Because that culling has to happen. That culling has to happen, right? Which is what? The process of separating organisms from a group based on desired and undesired characteristics. The desired characteristics are the elect and their righteousness. The undesired characteristics are the 2/3 in their wickedness, right? It says removing or segregating animals from breeding stock based on specific traits, right? And then it talks about other reasons for culling include economic and management factors, illness or injury, mortality, euthanasia, lameness, small stature, poor conformation, malformations. And there are malformations amongst the nation of Israel. That's why the Lord said this, Zechariah 13:8, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, YAHAWADAH, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. So 2/3 of the people of Israel are going to die. But the third shall be left therein. The third is the elect. And I will bring the third part through the fire and will refine them as silver is refined. And we're going through that fire now, the fire of affliction of adversity. And then we want the physical fire, which is going to be the nuclear missiles and the chariot fire. So what's going to save us out of here? Yahawah by way of the chariots. Okay? You're not, the Lord said, what? Hide in my chamber as it was but for a moment. It's the book of Isaiah. Salaki. That was in Isaiah. Dang. Let me see. Yeah, Isaiah 26:20. Isaiah 26:20. Isaiah 26:20. Right? Isaiah 26:20 says, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers and shut the doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment until the indignation overpass. And those chambers are the chariots, right? The Lord calls us, he's going to call us up literally by a voice. And we're going to hit them tractor beams and be pulled up. And it's going to hide us from what? The indignation of the Lord until it's overpassed. And in that, we're going to be able to see the judgment that's going to befall those that fought against the Lord. Okay. This is the book of the brother Salvation of the Elect. I'll make this brother Salvation of the Elect a moderator. Hold on. Bear with me, brothers. Bear with me, brothers. Salvation of the Elect. I'm gonna make you a moderator, brother. add as a moderator. Yeah, but the brother posted a precept. 1 Peter 4:18. And if the righteous shall scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Which, you know, that's the kind of judgment that's about to come and befall this place. That the righteous going to scarcely be saved because of the judgment that's happening. Okay, so again, the Lord is going what? He's going to hide us from that indignation. Come, my people, but it ain't going to be every Israelite. It's just the elect. My people, enter thou into thy chambers and shut the doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed. For behold, the Lord cometh out of the place to do what? To punish the inhabitants of the earth. Who are the inhabitants of the earth? The people. For their iniquity. This is the reason why the Lord is doing this. He's not doing this for no reason. He's not just doing this just for the sake of punishing. No, it's for the iniquity that's happened. The earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain. This is what's coming to this earth. This is the book of Genesis 6 and 6 and I'll start at yeah, this is all beautiful. I'll start at the top, right? It says the corruption of mankind, which it was the corruption of the sons of power, the sons of God, and dealing with the sons of men and the wicked at that time, which was Cain, right? Okay, who came out of that evil. He was that evil serpent that beguiled Eve, right? And then he came back as Abram. He came back as Jake, Cain and Abel, right? Those brothers. Goddamn Cain. I was watching that New Jack City scene where G Money and Nino Brown was on a rooftop, and the first thing Nino said to G Money was, "Hey, you cut a deal with that nigga, that motherfucker." He said, and G Money said, "No, he didn't. He lied." And he was like, "Yes, you did. Yes, you did." He said, "Motherfucking Cain." You know what I'm saying? Why you say Cain? Because Cain killed Abel. You know what I'm saying? And that wickedness, that's a wicked seed. Cain was the first murderer, and that dude came back as Esau, right? And his ilk is here today by way of these Edomites. So it says Genesis 6:1, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and the daughters were born unto them, that the sons of the power saw the daughters of men that they were fair. So we seen the daughters of the other nations. It's like, yo, we taking them, and they took them wives, all which they chose. And Yahweh said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he is also flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days. And also after that, and it's not talking about, they be like, oh, that's the Nephilim. That's no, giants mean it was men of renown, right? When the sons of them, and those men of renown were Israelites. Well, they weren't called Israelites, they were called the sons of God back then, right? When the sons of man came in unto the daughters of men, they bare children to them. The same became mighty men, which were of old men of renown. And this is why they were giants on earth. You got that today. And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination and of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented Yahawah that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And Yahweh said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for they repented me that I have made them. Because what was men doing? They were idolizing these things. They were worshiping these same shit they doing today. They were worshiping these animals. They were committing abominable acts with these beasts and these creeping things. They were exalting themselves. Man was wilding out on the earth. Niggas is violent. Just the same violence that's going on today was happening back then. And the Lord did what? He had a great culling of the earth by flooding this motherfucker, drowned everybody. The only ones that survived was Noah, his 3 sons, and their 3 wives, and Noah's wife. and all them animals and things that were on on that vessel. All right, that's how angry the Lord was. But the why do Yahweh for his mercy that more than 8 souls are going to be saved this time. You know what I'm saying? Because man, that was terrible. If to witness that, to be in it, that was terrible. You know what I'm saying? It was so bad that man, Noah had to drink when it was all said and done. He had to, you know, he had to fall back. It was traumatic. It was an extreme traumatic experience. And every nation has a deluge story. Every nation has one, right? And just like this is going to be an extreme traumatic event happening when the nuclear missiles go off over America and other parts of the world, and the earthquakes happen and the earth rock to and fro like a drunkard. Everybody gonna feel that. All these cities gonna be turned into fucking ash or turned into heaps of rubble. They're gonna be famines on the earth. They're gonna be a great famines. People are gonna be dying from starvation and cancerous diseases because of those. They took the chip. It ain't gonna be no exporting and importing of goods anymore. None of that, all that's gonna stop. There ain't gonna be no filled supermarkets with food in there for people to go shopping and just, you know, living a life like Nate said. We're gonna be walking down the street, la da 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 da, and then we're gonna be nah, bro. It's gonna be hell on earth, bro, for real. Even after America is destroyed and the elect are saved, it's gonna be hell on earth, bro. Lot of death gonna be happening. You know what I'm saying? So it says, and you see why it has to happen. Look what these people are doing, bro. Now we actually got the Urim and the Thummim. You can get on the internet and you can just look through the window and just see these people and the shit that they doing. It's fucking disgusting. It's absolutely abhorrent, right? It's abhorrent. So it says, and it repented the Most High. I'm sorry, and it repented the Lord Yahweh that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And Yahweh said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and creeping thing, and man and beast and the creeping thing and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahweh. And just like Noah found grace, the elect have found grace in the eyes of Yahweh. Noah was the elect of his day. His sons were the elect of their day. Their wives were part of the elect of their day. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generation. And Noah walked with the Most High, which he followed after the Most High. He obeyed Yahweh. It says, this is the account of Noah and his family. Noah was a righteous man, the only blameless person living on earth at that time. He walked in close fellowship with the Most High. And how do you walk in close fellowship with the Heavenly Father? By obeying his word, his laws, statutes, and commandments. By obeying his word, doing what is commanded of him. Noah was commanded to build that ship. He ain't arguing with the Lord. He did it. You know what I'm saying? He prepared the world. He prophesied for over 120 years of what was going to happen, that rain was going to come. The people had never seen rain before. It never rained. It never rained before. Just like these people have never seen nuclear missiles before. They don't even believe that it's going to happen, even though these nations have nuclear missiles and they're teeter-tottering with war with these missiles. But the vast majority of the people of the world, they're in a state of normalcy bias. One of you brothers can post a definition for normalcy bias in the comment chat, in the comments. They don't believe that it's really, the times is really terrible as it seems, but it truly is. It truly is. Okay, so as Noah begat, it says, and Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And the earth was corrupt before the Most High, and the earth was filled with violence. And that's what's going on right now. And the Most High looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh have corrupted his way upon the earth. And what was the beginning of that corruption? Pride and idol worshiping, man. Because all of those, everything that's happening stems from that. Everything that you see, from the violence to the sexual immorality to the lying, the stealing, the extortion, to everything that's happening. The root cause of that is pride and idolatry. That's the root cause of it. Everything that you see, because the people have been put in their mind, they've been normalizing satanic rituals, man. It's become commonplace amongst the people now. Let me see if somebody posted that word for normalcy bias. Yep, the water, my brother. Salvation of the Elect posted, normacy bias is a cognitive bias that causes people to minimize or ignore the possibility of disaster or threat. And that's what these people are doing. When we out here prophesying and preaching, we're warning the people of incoming disaster and a great threat. And people are either ignoring the possibility of it or they minimizing it. Oh, that was back in the day, they ain't gonna happen no more. We're technologically advanced now. We're too far technologically advanced. Well, nigga, they was technologically advanced during the time of the flood. And look what happened to that shit. Gone. The Dutta Man, dead. Keisha, dead. That's from Jack City. Yeah, anyway, normacy bias is the cognitive bias that causes people to minimize or ignore the possibility of a disaster or a threat. It can lead people to underestimate the likelihood of disaster, its potential effects, and how disruptive it might be. Because Esau been playing with the emotions of the minds of the people with these different events that they cause on purpose, and then they pull it back. So they had you thinking that, oh, you're just gonna last for a little bit, and it'll go back to normal again. What were people screaming about during during 2020 pandemic? Let's just get back to normalcy. Let's get back to normalcy. Normalcy, nigga. It ain't been normal since, right? You've been teeter-tottering on the edge of another scandemic, pandemic. You know what I'm saying? They've been using these different things to scare the people into submission, and the people don't really have effects. And you saw a lot of normalcy bias during the time of the vid. You know what I'm saying? People walking around with wild masks on their face, all crazy. Some people, he just had people just having a mask on their face, just to have a mask on. If you're driving in the car, just weird, like that was gonna protect them, right? And then like they overestimated. It was a lot going on. But the point of the matter is that normacy bias was the thing, and that's exactly what the great mass majority of people today suffer from. What? Normacy bias. Right? They don't think that the Lord's going to judge this place. So they're not scared of the judgment. They don't think on it. They don't meditate on the judgment. They don't even think about the flood, the previous destruction, because they've been taught that it didn't even happen, which is a lie, because it did happen. And hell yeah, it happened. You know what I'm saying? So much so that the Lord told what? And the Most High said unto Noah, Genesis 6:13, the end of all flesh is come before me. For the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. So the Lord didn't destroy the earth like he blew it up, or but he drowned everything on it. He destroyed everything. The cities, the monuments, the buildings, the people, the animals, all that shit. It got flooded out. It got flooded out. Flooded out. People drowned to death. Animals drowned to death. Even fish that was in the sea drowned. It was too much. They got slammed on rocks. All of that shit. Now them motherfuckers are apart. Their fossils are parts of the stones. You know. Let's see if I can find this image. An image of fossils found on mountains. Like fossils found on mountains. We used to have pictures of that shit, like where like fish was on the side of mountains, big as like this shit, right? The fish got flattened to the point, even not just fish, but even insects. And then Esau will tell you this happened there 300 million years ago. Nigga, this happened because of the flood. Bible discovers marine fossils. Listen to this. Bible discoveries marine fossils found atop of Mount. Come on, Salakia. Just bear with me. Bear with me. Pause for the site. It says, come on, bro. Salakia. Just bear with me, brothers. Yeah. It says Bible discoveries, marine fossils found atop of Mount Everest could be proof of the Great Flood. This is from May 5th, 2021. It says the flood narrative is found in chapters 6 through 9 of the book of Genesis, and the story tells of the Most High's decision to return the earth to its pre-creation state of watery chaos. Noah and his family are said to have been spared along with 2 and of every kind of animal, which was more than 2. It was 7 kind of every clean animal and 2 kind of every unclean animal. By floating a great ark, Genesis 7:18-19 states, the ark went upon the face of the waters, and the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high mountains that were under the whole heavens were covered. Many have questioned the feasibility of the story, with one critic stating for the biblical flood to have happened, the water on the earth had to miraculously multiply about 250%, and it did, because the Lord opened up the springs in the earth, because there's water underneath of these oceans, right? And then also too, he opened up the windows of heaven so that water came shooting from out of the heavens. Okay, it sure did. Despite this, NASA has confirmed the presence of limestone and ocean marine fossils at the top of Mount Everest. But then Esau will tell you that the flood didn't happen. Watch Jerusalem and the analyst site seek to show how current events are fulfilling the biblical prophecy description of the prevailing state of affairs of our day. States it is evidence that the territory at some point in the earth history was covered with water. So you got fucking fish found at the top of a mountain. And why is that? Because the flood happened, right? This really happened, right? This really happened, right? You see this all over the earth. You even got insect fossils, bro. Come on, man. How you explain this? How can you explain something like this, bro? It was that bad. The water flattened even bugs. All right. It says right here, fossils of the Rocky Mountains. The Rocky Mountains is in Colorado, right? You got audio fossils, shallow marine waters continue to cover most of the area through the early part of the Paleozodiac or Cambrian Silurian, supporting a great diversity of life, including tribal baits, graphoplates, brachiopods, blah, 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 blah. And look, this is a fossil of a fish on a Rocky Mountains, man. You got shells, shellfish, right? Look at this, bro. And it's scattered all over the earth, man. This is the mountain. This is the mountain. And look at this. Look. Early Cretaceous dinosaur tracks. These are footprints from different animals that walked the earth prior to the flood, man. Come on, son. A fossil palm leaf. So an actual a plant leaf. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. The trees suffered from the flood, bruh. Perfect. This is a perfect fossilized. This is all because of what happened during the flood. Look, a butterfly, a big ass butterfly on the side of a mountain. How can you explain that, Esau? You can't. You can't explain that. You got like the type of insects and shit. And you see how big the insects were back then. You got fish. right? They give it different names. Look how big this one fish is. I mean, this is a bird. A bird slapped the hell out of the side of a mountain. You got different, types of horses and shit like that. Come on, bro. So you got a lot of this happen, but they don't show you. But this was part of that judgment, and I'm sure they found bodies too, right? They found fossilized human bodies too. Fish fossils all over the place, man. Reptile fossils. You see, all this happens, man. This really happened, and just like this happened, guess what? The fire is coming, right? The fire is coming, and it ain't gonna be nothing left. Ain't gonna be shit left. Nothing. Ain't gonna be no fossils. No bodies on the sides of wall. Everything's gonna be melted here in America, man. It says, 2 Peter 3:10, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, because the nuclear missiles are going to be loud, and the elements shall melt with further heat. Or everything that you see on the earth is made of elements, and it's going to melt. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Seeing all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for a new heaven and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Because after the Lord destroys this current system, America, Esau, his armies, what's a new rulership is going to be set on earth, because these people are very short-sighted when it comes to judgment. It says 2 Peter 3:3, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. So man just think that, oh, we all this stuff been the same, ain't nothing changed. You had these different periods of Iron Age and Metal Agery and all this. Nah, bro, all this shit, this is new. Really not new, because it's the same thing that they were doing in the ancient world. But this stuff hasn't always been this way. There was a world before this world that you living in today, and that was the world prior to the flood. But why was that world destroyed? Because of the evil and the wickedness. For this they willingly are ignorant, that by the word of the Most High the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the waters and in the water, whereby the world then was being overflowed with water, perished. Right? You've seen different examples, the different wildlife, fauna, and trees, and different animals. And I'm sure they got sites where people were at, and then they also got different layouts of old cities and shit, right? That they could see that was flooded. A lot of that shit didn't really last, because with the earth, with the floods came earthquakes too, because the water was busting out of the earth and it was flowing down onto the earth, so that everything got destroyed. Whereby the world then was being overflowed with water, perished. So that world, that rulership had perished. But the heavens and the earth, which are now, you see the heaven and the earth above us and below us, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. So the perdition is destruction, the day of judgment and destruction of ungodly men. And we're going to live to see this. Lord willing, we part of the elect, right? And them people going to burn, brother. They're going to melt. Says Zechariah 14:12, and this shall be the plague wherein Yahweh Bashem Shai will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. You see? And the only thing that could do that is nuclear fire. That's it. You got these Edomites trying to establish a pseudo blessing. They think that they're in charge of taking the life off the earth. You're not in charge of that. That's given to YAHAWADAH and YAHAWADAH. You got this thing. They used to have this thing called the Georgia Guidestones. They no longer exist, but they said maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Who told you that 500 million people is balanced with the nature of the earth? You made that up to guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. So they want to tell you who gets to live and who gets to die, who gets to have children, who don't get to have children. Unite humanity with living a living new language. Nigga, we're gonna do all of this. We're gonna do all of this. And there's gonna be more than 500 million people left on the earth to get this work done. And then they're gonna reproduce in mass quantities. And that language that you're gonna speak is gonna be the Hebrew. It ain't gonna be no satanic language. It ain't gonna be English. It's gonna be the Hebrew. Rule, passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. You niggas don't do that now. How you gonna expect Esau to push that there? You know? Get out of here, man. The Council of Foreign Relations is ran by the devil, which who's the devil? Esau, Edom. And eventually they had to destroy this because it was too much. But Esau trying to foster that faith, false blessing, but it ain't gonna happen. Right? This is the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 8, verse 1. And he answered me saying, the Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for few. So the people that are going to be left on this earth are going to be few. And the ones that are going to inherit the earth is going to be the elect. The world that we're in right now is made for any and everybody. Right? Let's go. Let me skip down the chapter. Skipping down, it says, skipping down to the verse 50. Second Esdras 8 and 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them in the latter time that shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. It's the reason why judgment's coming. Okay, but understand thou for thyself and seek thou the glory for such as be like to thee, and that's the elect. For unto you is paradise open. The tree of life is planted, and the time is come, is prepared. Plenty, because Esdras is part of the elect. Plenteous is made ready. A city builded, and rest is allowed. Yeah, perfect goodness and wisdom. This was going to be on the earth after all this destruction happened. And this is going to be for the few that remain of the house of Israel, the elect. Right? The root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness and a moth is hid from you. Corruption is fled into hell and to be forgotten. No more corruption going to be on the earth. Sorrows are past. We're not going to feel no more sorrow. And in the end, it showed the treasure of immortality. So we're going to inherit immortality. The Israelites are going to be the real immortals. Right? 2nd Esdras 9 and 13. And therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created. The world is created for the righteous. Who are the righteous? The Israelites. Starting with the elect. Right? Let me skip down again. That's verse 13. It says, then answered I and said, I have said before and now do speak and will speak. It is also hereafter that there be many more which of them which perish than which shall be saved. Because 2/3 is way more than the 1/3. 2/3 of the Israelites here in America are going to be destroyed. The 1/3 of Israel is going to be saved, as well as around the world. The Israelites scattered around the world are going to be saved. So, I just wanted to bring this out. The great culling is needed. It's needed because of all the wickedness and evil and violence that's on this earth, and it has to go. I'll end it off with this one, 2nd Esdras chapter 15. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. These are plagues that's coming, right? For wickedness, why? For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me. Who's the innocent and righteous blood? The Israelites. Even the wicked Israelites that die on this side, when they go back to the spirit world, they're righteous and they're innocent and they're complaining to the Lord. And the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore, saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Right? Behold, my people is led to a flock as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And the land of Egypt is America. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. So now the Lord's going to bring them same plagues as he did before and more, and will destroy. But this time he said, I will destroy all the land thereof. And that's right. So yeah, man, a great culling is needed. And we see that what's going on in the earth is definitely needed. This place has to go because the wickedness is too much. It's just too much, man. Too much. So the great culling, this has been the great culling is needed. I hope you were edified. With that, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, and Kakadash. Say double honor to the apostles. Salutations to the elect. Keep pushing, keep striving. We're almost out of here. Hey, shalom.